Peppa Pig is a super fun show that gives us a glimpse into the everyday life of the most beloved piggy on TV and her family. But what if we think about the future? Have you ever imagined what Peppa's life and her friends' lives would be like when they grow up? What incredible adventures and unexpected moments might happen? Career. In the episode where Peppa has a sleepover at Susie's house, the two friends start imagining what their futures will be like. Also, there's another episode where Peppa and her classmates talk about what they want to be when they grow up. When it comes to Peppa's career choices, there are two moments in the show that give us clues about her future. First, when the class discusses careers, Peppa says she wants to be famous for jumping in muddy puddles. Daddy Pig, however, comments that he doesn't think that's a real profession. But is he right? Nowadays, extreme sports like mud, rally racing, or even puddle jumping competitions are quite popular. Who knows? Maybe Peppa will become a professional athlete in this style. Or better yet, a computer game streamer. In one episode, Peppa mentions that she would work with computers, but the scene shows her playing games. Could this be the start of a gaming career? Without a doubt, being a gamer or a mud athlete would be fantastic options for our favorite piggy's future. Get ready, because today we'll explore 15 amazing things that might happen in the future of Peppa Pig. So join us as we dive deeper into Peppa's incredible world. Susie the businesswoman. Still in the episodes where the characters imagine their future professions, Susie Sheep reveals an impressive side. She shares that she dreams of becoming a nurse, but would also love to pilot airplanes in her free time. Just imagine Susie taking on Miss Rabbit's responsibilities and becoming essential to the town. But there's more. Susie jokes about marrying Danny Dog in her fantasies. If this happens, they could become a stylish power couple, traveling the world in their own private plane. And Danny? He dreams of being an astronaut. Would he take lessons from Grandpa Rabbit, who already had his own space adventure? Pig Bridge. Have you ever thought about Peppa going to college? It would be fascinating to see her tackle the challenges of university life. Would Madame Gazelle be there to guide her as well? Since the show is set in England, it's hard not to think of the famous University of Cambridge. But in Peppa Pig's world, she might attend an alternate version for animals, maybe called Pig Bridge? Or imagine this, Madame Gazelle could take Peppa and her friends to Hogwarts, where they'd study magic. Peppa's college years would certainly be a show worth watching. Freddy the police officer. Now let's talk about Freddy Fox, who has a bright future imagined, but one that could also be quite dramatic. Freddy has expressed his desire to become a police officer, which is fantastic. However, this might create a dilemma, as his father, Mr. Fox, is known for being, well, a little too clever in his business dealings. If Freddy pursues a career in law enforcement, he might end up investigating his own father. Would this cause tension in the family? We're not sure, but we can already imagine Mr. Fox's novelty shop losing its unique charm without him bringing in those one-of-a-kind products. Wedding bells. What would Peppa's future be without a little romance? In one episode where Peppa and Susie imagine their adult lives, Peppa reveals that she might marry either Pedro Pony or Danny Dog. But all signs point to her having a bigger crush on Pedro. In the school play, for instance, Peppa makes sure to give Pedro a kiss on the cheek when they act out Little Red Riding Hood together. It's such a sweet moment that left everyone wondering, will they end up together in the future? And of course, we can't help but ask, if Peppa and Pedro have kids, what kind of animals would they be? Piglets, ponies, or a mix of both? Only time will tell. Since we're talking about future possibilities, comment future below and tell us what job you have or what you'd like to do one day. Edmund the Scientist. Imagine Edmund, the super smart little elephant, becoming a top-tier scientist in the future. It fits him perfectly, right? After all, he already loves showing off his knowledge by interrupting everyone with random scientific facts. Remember that episode where he visited the Science Museum and climbed into a toy rocket? Now, imagine him stepping into a real rocket and exploring space as a true astronaut. I'm sure Edmund would also invent all sorts of amazing gadgets for the future, machines to solve everyday problems, or even super advanced robots. Who knows? He might create a device to help Mummy Pig fix the school's broken roof. If you were a scientist like Edmund, what incredible invention would you create? Rebecca the Queen. While Edmund dreams of becoming a brilliant scientist, Rebecca seems to have other plans. Do you think she'll pick a normal job? Not a chance. Rebecca has already decided she wants to be royalty. And why? Simple. She wants to be in charge of everyone. Honestly, with a family like hers, it's not hard to imagine Rebecca becoming the first millionaire of the group. Think about it. Miss Rabbit has so many jobs, it's almost impossible that her family isn't swimming in money. From running a supermarket to selling ice cream, operating trains, and flying helicopters, her list of jobs never ends. In the Careers episode, Rebecca revealed her biggest dream is to be a queen. Picture this, a massive castle, Rebecca giving orders to everyone, and of course, wearing a sparkling crown. So, do you think she'll make her dream come true? Children, now let's talk about a very different future for Peppa and her gang. Kids, that's right, the show could introduce a new generation of adorable piglets, bunnies, and other lovable characters to carry on the story. Can you imagine Peppa having a child? The big question is, would it be a piglet or a pony? After all, Peppa's universe has its own unique rules. Talking potatoes, but silent chickens, right? It would be amazing to see Peppa's child attending Madame Gazelle's school. Maybe they'd even organize a huge birthday party to celebrate the teacher's 400th year. Remember when the school's roof broke and Mummy Pig had to skydive to raise money? Well, maybe now it would be Peppa's turn to jump and save the day. It'd be a great way to pass the torch, or the parachute, to the next generation. What do you think? George and dinosaurs. George definitely has a bright future ahead, and I bet he'll pursue a career in dinosaurs. Archaeology. His passion for dinosaurs has been clear since he was little. In fact, it was the first word he ever said. Imagine him traveling the world, uncovering incredible fossils of various species. What if there was a spin-off series called George Pig, the Fossil Adventurer? It would undoubtedly be a hit, but if he decides not to dig up fossils, he could always dress up in a dinosaur costume and cosplay as a T-Rex pig. Would anyone here cosplay as a Peppa Pig character? Miss Rabbit retires. After all her hard work, Miss Rabbit will definitely need some well-earned rest in the future. It's impossible for her to keep working so many jobs forever, right? Just operating trains, helicopters, and managing the supermarket is enough for several lifetimes. When she finally decides to retire, I'm sure Susie will step in as the town's successful businesswoman. After all, someone needs to handle all those responsibilities. Can you picture Miss Rabbit relaxing on a tropical beach while Susie runs the show back home? If you're a fan of the world's most famous piggy, click the button below and subscribe to our channel right now. Technology. Since 2004, Peppa Pig's universe has won fans over with its outdoor play and simple, nostalgic vibes. But in today's modern world, wouldn't Peppa deserve to dive into the tech world? Just imagine Peppa with a smartphone, recording stories, or even going live, just like today's biggest influencers. If the writers decided to incorporate social media or digital devices into the show, it could create a stronger connection with young viewers who have grown up surrounded by technology. Perhaps Peppa and her friends could even launch a vlog channel documenting their adventures. Modernizing the series would open the door to countless new and exciting storylines. New City. The peaceful English countryside has been the perfect setting for Peppa and her gang's adventures. But as the protagonist grows up, perhaps it's time to explore more vibrant locales. London, the iconic capital that has already appeared in episodes like the one with Queen Elizabeth, would be the ideal choice. Imagine Peppa exploring a bustling metropolis, meeting new characters, and tackling urban challenges. A new city could bring a completely fresh dynamic to the stories, with funny and unique situations far removed from the calm of the countryside. London is full of surprises, and Peppa would undoubtedly find plenty to do there. Long life. As Peppa grows up and gets older, does that mean her beloved grandparents might one day say goodbye? While the show occasionally touches on emotional themes and has inspired some sad fan theories, it's unlikely that the creators would address such a delicate topic as loss. After all, this is a world where gazelles like Madame Gazelle seem to live for centuries. Maybe she could share her secret to immortality with Peppa's grandparents, allowing them to continue enjoying adventures together without any tearful goodbyes. More animation errors. Peppa Pig's stories are packed with hilarious moments, but part of the show's charm lies in the animation errors that pop up now and then. These bloopers are so funny that fans often wonder if they're intentional. In a potential future for the series, whether with an adult Peppa or a spin-off starring her child with Pedro, it would be fantastic to see even more of these comedic mistakes. These unexpected details ensure non-stop laughter and show how even slip-ups can be a delightful part of the show's magic. Mr. Potato. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about the enigmatic Mr. Potato. This charismatic and mysterious character deserves more attention in the series' future. Can you imagine uncovering more about him? Does he have a family? Is there a potato city? Or perhaps an entire community of talking vegetables? A world of chatty carrots, singing tomatoes, and other mutant veggies would be amazing. Mr. Potato holds many secrets, and expanding his storyline would be an irresistible treat for fans. Before we wrap up, we'd love to know, would you like to follow Peppa's teenage years or even her adult life? We'd absolutely love to see that evolution. Until that day comes, we've left 2 more pieces of content here that you can't miss. Keep having fun with us, and we'll see you in the next video.